So for the last video, I showed you guys how to set up your file. If you're not sure how to do that, please make sure that you go to the top of this area here and watch that video first. Now that I've gotten my image off of the internet, I've saved it correctly. Now I am ready to add color to the image. Remember, it should be one color family. For instance, warm is red, orange, yellow. So one thing that I never ever want to do is I never want to use the eraser because this will add damage to my work. Instead, I must always fix my most recent mistake by going back in my history menu, and I'll show you in a moment. My history menu is missing. So if you're ever lost, you can't find, so here's my history menu, right? Let's say this guy isn't here. If I don't have a history menu, I just simply go up to Window, and then I go to History, and it comes back. If my history menu is floating, I just press and hold on it until there's a blue line and drop it in. And then I can scale this to fit. Using the paint bucket, begin to add color to the shapes in your mandala. Use the top box. In this photo, it is red, to select your color. Located at the bottom of the toolbar. Don't forget to undo any mistakes using the history menu. So I'm going to come here, and maybe I want to work with cool colors. So I have a blue and a purple already selected. If I wanted to change that color, I click once, and then I can kind of change and press OK. If I want to change the back color, I can do so as well. Cool colors. All right. This is my paint bucket. I know so because I pressed G. But remember, sometimes we are paint bucket. So we have to press and hold to get the paint bucket to show. And that's these. So this is me getting my color picker ready. And then this is me using, I'll show you the eyedropper in a second, and paint bucket G in Photoshop to add color to my mandala. So I'm going to come here. Here's my paint bucket. And what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to zoom in. And I can click once to add my color. Again, if I don't like a color, I don't want to keep clicking because it'll bleed out, and that's really bad. Instead, when I make a mistake, something I don't like, I just simply go back in my history and undo. Now let's say I want to fill these with this pink and this blue. Or not pink. I don't want it to be pink. Because it's a cool color, I want it to be more purpley. So here I have my purple and my blue. So I find working with the paint bucket is tricky. So I turn on the caps lock key so that it's easier for me to see where I want to fill. And then keep an eye down here. When I press X on my keyboard, do you see how it switches between the two colors? So when I click here and then I press X, I can quickly rotate between two colors. Oops. And there I've done that. Fill that color. And then I can come here and I can change to maybe another blue. And maybe I want to do a green because these are cool colors. I can do green. And maybe I want to alternate blue and green in here for my cool colors. Again, I'm using the X key to flip the foreground and background colors. And then maybe I want to do a light green to fill this. Now, let's say it's last class and I ended up having these colors, right? And I want to, or maybe during one class, I want to go back, so I'm going to control minus a little. And maybe out here, I want to do these exact same blue and purple. Well, it's black and white. So the easiest way for me to get these colors back is to open up my color picker window. And then I can move over here and notice it's black. And when I click here, it becomes that blue or it becomes that green. Do you see how there it's changing to the colors that I want? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select the purple, and I'm going to click on the bottom one to select my blue. And now I have the two colors that I want back again, and then using my G for my paint bucket, see it's still on paint bucket, I can go ahead and I can press my X key, and start to flip. Now let's say I don't want that. Remember, we should be going back in our history to undo, but let's say we forgot and we decided to use our eraser. Do you see how using the eraser is really bad and it isn't working? It's actually just kind of painting everything purple because that's my bottom color. So remember, instead, if you don't like something, you just simply go back in your history and undo. The other thing is, with my paint bucket, do you see as I'm filling, it's doing exactly what I want it to do. Well, let's say by accident, you had something up here has changed. That one didn't change very much. Let me try another one. Okay, so you see how that one's acting weird? It's not really doing what I want. So let's say you don't like that, but your color is what it is, and you're on the paint bucket. Well, come up here to your mode and just make sure that it is on normal. And if it's on normal, then it gives you what you want. All right? Let's see the directions. Did I forget anything? So paint bucket to add your color. Here is your color picker. We can even add your paint bucket down here too. Use your eyedropper. Now we understand what that is. G for paint bucket, and there's a little picture of it so you'll know what that guy looks like. And down here, these are your keyboard shortcuts in case you forgot. I really think zooming in is super important for this project, as well as using the space bar. So I'm doing Control plus to zoom in, Control 0 to fit the page, Control minus if I need to zoom out. And then as I'm zoomed in, I'm pressing and holding that space bar, and that's allowing me to navigate around so that I can start to fill other areas of my artwork. Whoops. Go back up and undo. To fill in other areas of my artwork if I would like to. Right? Spacebar, spacebar, spacebar. And turn caps lock key on to fill in the small areas and press X to make the foreground and background colors switch. Right here, keep an eye on the blues and the purples. I'm pressing X to flip them back and forth. And what else? Okay, so now let's just say that my artwork is done and I'm ready to save it. So for this project, you guys are going to turn in 2 different images using 2 different color families, like this example up here. So we have a cool elephant and a warm cat. So once you finish one of them, then you need to save it. So you're going to save as a PSD to your folder so you can edit later. So I'm going to come here. I love this image. I'm going to do a save as. I'm in my folder, and I wanted a PSD so I can edit it later, and I'm pressing save. Okay, I did my PSD. Then it says save it again as a JPEG file, save as JPEG. Okay, so I'm going to do file, save as again, and here is where I'm going to switch it to JPEG, which is directly below IFF, and press save. Yes, please replace it. Okay. And then it says upload and turn in last name CF1, and then you're going to do last name CF2. Oh, I think I saved this wrong. So right here where it says CF, right, it should be CF1 for saving. Okay? CF1. All right. And then it says turn into Google Classroom. So when you're all set, the way how you do it is you go to Google Classroom, the specific, go to classwork, and then the specific project post, and then you click on View Assignment, and then you add it in. All right. So I'm going to come here. No, I'm not. I'm going to come here, and I'm going to go to my classroom, which is right here, and it's classwork, and then I'm scrolling down, and here it is. I'm the teacher, so my view is different. You guys would click View Assignment, and then up here where it says Your Work, directly below Your Work, it says Add or Create, and you would click on that. So you click on Add or Create, then you would click on the file, then you would click Blue Browse and navigate to get it. So mine is different because I'm the teacher. But you would click on File, and then you see how it says Blue Browse in the middle? You would click on Browse, and then you would navigate to your folder, Desktop, Your Folder, and then this is supposedly my finished one, right? And you would take that and open and turn it in, all right? And that's how you would turn in your work to me. So let me go back. So Add or Create, File. You don't really need the upload. It's just there in case you X out. It's really the blue browse that you need to look for. Desktop, Your Folder, and then make sure you're turning it in. And it should be, make sure you're turning in the correct file extension, and it should be 2 files that you're turning in. And then if you're all done, that's great. You can go to great websites. You can create a fun file in Photoshop. You can work on any remote Monday work. All right? Have fun. I cannot wait to see what you guys are going to create.